Really?
Trying to get my angles.
You gotta teach me, because I don't know my angles. I really don't.
Since Alex want to say something about my shirt, I show you. You see me? You see me? Do you see me?
I like that. That's really cute.
It's giving. You want me or no? Okay.
like,
anyway, mental health.
Y'all ready to jump in?
Welcome to our first live. Are you excited, Zoe?
Our first live. Let's go. Let's go. The first of many. Listen, so welcome everyone. Thank y'all for coming in this mug with us on tonight. All 14 of y'all. That's a big number to us. You hear me? So we appreciate y'all for being here. Welcome to Uncensored Therapy. Therapy spelled with the 3. You see what it represents, the 3 of us. My name is Lorenzo. If y'all don't know, then we got down here these 2 beautiful women, Jean Marie and Ashley. Ladies, speak to the people. Speak to the people.
Now that I can see you. Okay, hey, peoples.
Yo,
again, so welcome to Uncensored Therapy. Ashley, you didn't even greet the people, bro. Come on, greet the people.
Hey, guys. Welcome to Uncensored. So they don't like my radio voice. So welcome to Uncensored Therapy with a 3.
With a 3.
This is our first time going live. We usually on Clubhouse, and we love our day one fans. So hopefully all come out today, and we still gonna be bringing y'all up after we do our discussion.
Yeah. So for anybody, I don't know how many people we have so far. Well, I know how many people in here, but that have come from Clubhouse to here. If this is your first time in this mug, the premise of the show is you see these individuals and we have conversations about life, and we tie in a little bit of mental health, and talking about things can be therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? And we've talked about a lot of things since November is when we started in Clubhouse. And we wanted to bring it to the live, give us a different platform, give us a different feel, let y'all see our handsome and our beautiful faces as we talk. And it's not just our conversations. We want to include y'all in on these conversations because, again, conversations can be therapeutic. The point of this show is to discuss life, as I just said, things that we've experienced in life, and tied into mental health. And the discussion comes from our personal experiences, from our backgrounds, and tying it in with a little bit of mental health. And life is one of the best teachers. And when you're able to bring in some mental health, it brings some understanding to you as a person. So that's pretty much the premise of the show. Now, look, if y'all been with us since Clubhouse, yes, things are a little bit different. We addressed it a little bit, and it's still all good. And we want to make sure we're clear on where the direction we're headed in. Just to give anybody else who wasn't here with us a little bit of history, when we started off, it was 4 friends, you know what I'm saying? And we still friends, let me say that. And the idea was to literally just sit and talk about life. And a few changes happened, you know what I'm saying?
They quit.
Still good.
Okay.
Yeah, like still good. And then we ended up with this beautiful young lady down up in here called Jean Marie.
Jean Marie. I love her. She's my close friend. She's been a heckler. We gonna say what the fuck it was. She's been a heckler since day one. She became an honorary guest since day one.
Yeah.
And she just beguiled her way up here. Like that's rightfully so.
That's facts. That's facts. So yeah, we definitely appreciate her jumping on this bandwagon. And again, we appreciate y'all. Now listen, we want to keep y'all attention and keep y'all up in this room. So make sure y'all don't go nowhere. Like for real, don't go nowhere. We're gonna keep your attention. So real deal, the importance of stuff like this is for us to be able to gather and have these conversations, because what I've come to find out working in the field is a lot of people real deal don't understand what's going on in their own lives. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes seeking out therapy can help with that understanding. And being able to have just general conversations. Some people also think they're experiencing these things alone, you know what I'm saying? And when you come across people who have either experienced what you are experiencing or currently experiencing it, it's helpful to hear other perspectives and other people's input and experiences. And like I said, our experience also kind of ties into the mental health background as well. So it's all helpful. So at any time as we go in the future, when we have these conversations, if you feel like you need therapy, we are not your therapist. Feel what I'm saying? However, the conversations are therapeutic, but if you feel like you need to seek therapy, we encourage you to seek therapy. Ashley and I are, our background is in mental health. Jean works in the health field. And
traumatic brain injury.
there we go. Thank you. And we're all, I can say we're all recipients of mental health. We're all advocates for mental health. And two of us work in the mental health field. And we encourage you to seek therapy. There's nothing wrong with it. And we're going to talk about all that stuff. And tonight we kind of want to reintroduce what we're doing here and kind of just talk about mental health and the importance of it. Ladies?
If you need a therapist or you need somebody to talk to work something out, you're not crazy. See, that's the stigma, I think, in the Black community is if you're in therapy, you're crazy. That's not true. So we just want to let you know that. And as we go forward, I hope you can believe us in saying if you need some help, get some help. You're not crazy.
I like that you said that, and I'm going to segue into this. Literally, just last night, I was talking to one of my homies, and he was talking about the loss of a family member they had 2 years ago. And I was with him in on a conversation, and he really opened up with a lot. And once he was finished, I was like, you know, homie, you ever thought about like seeking out some therapeutic help? And he was like, nah, we don't do that in our family. And he was like, man, you know, my mama would have said if she was still here, you pray about it and you keep moving. And I didn't want to challenge him. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Because he was sharing. And just hearing that still goes with what you say, especially in our community. We don't seek out therapy. One, we think it's weak. You know what I'm saying? We either think that we're crazy, you know, if we go to see somebody. And what people have to understand, there's a keen difference between your mental health and a mental illness. And I remember James and Ashley brought that out in one of our Clubhouse shows, you know. And a lot of times people end up with a mental illness because they have not catered to their mental health.
Right. Yeah, so therapy can be it can be proactive instead of reactive. And that's what we want to do, be proactive when it comes to our mental health. Shout out to Confidence is Key for knowing what you need at a young age. And
a young age.
That, yeah, and continuing with it.
That's facts.
Y'all see comments? Because I don't even see comments no more, y'all.
I see them.
Yeah, I do.
It must be my connection. That's that Simple Mobile, huh? That
your phone needs some therapy.
I got that Obama ain't working correctly. Jesus. So
look, just to express the difference between, you know, mental illness and mental health people, and I'm gonna just straight up read it to you. A mental illness, we're talking about conditions that affect a person's thinking, feeling, mood, or behavior. And this show up in the forms of depression, anxiety, bipolar disorders, schizophrenia. It's not limited to that. The list goes on. Those are mental illnesses, and the way a person kind of segues into that, as I just said, is by not caring for their mental health. And the mental health reflects our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It has a strong impact on the way we interact with others, handle problems, and make decisions.
Right. Scared about opening up about needing help. People don't need to know. Not everybody needs to know if you're going to talk to a therapist. Why do they need to know? It's your business and nobody else's. I mean, tell who you want to tell, but you do not need to tell anybody that you're getting help. So, I mean, hopefully that helps. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't take the fear away, but you got to wonder, would your fear go away if you just took that step to get yourself some help?
Because honestly, and if you put it into the thought of what we're doing, it's literally, especially starting off a conversation. You sit down with somebody you don't know, and as time goes on and you build that therapeutic relationship with that therapist, it's a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And what the therapist does is help you get out whatever it is that you're dealing with. And they help you find a path, set some goals, and get you to a space where you're either able to move on from that issue or live with that issue. Not everyone is able to, you know, just straight up get out of whatever their mental health or mental illness or whatever it is. Some people live with it. Like there are people who live with depression. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, learning coping skills and stuff. But still, as a community, as a people, period, and then as a culture, and within the Black community, we have to get to that space to understand the need for therapy.
Yeah. If you ever seen Girl in the Window, she was a psychologist who also had who was seeing a psychologist, and it's the same thing as nurses going to the hospital. Like when you know when something is wrong, you're gonna go and check it out. So if you're a therapist and you know what mental illness is and you see the signs, then of course you're gonna get help. So I feel like that just makes sense.
No, that's facts. Look, I see two comments I want to address. One from Q got the juice. Q got the juice. He said they say therapist burnout is a rising issue. That is facts. And then I'm gonna tie it in with Crystal Under saying over half of therapists go see a therapist, and she asked our thoughts. The fact that their therapist burnout is a rising issue, that's even more of a fact or reason for therapists to go see a therapist. You know what I'm saying? While I was a student of therapy, while I was learning in the field, I was still seeing my therapist. And now as I'm studying to take my tests to get certifications and licensing and stuff, I still go see my therapist. You know what I'm saying? And as I see people, I see someone, and it all ties in this. There's nothing wrong with going sit with somebody, and I'm gonna say it like this, unloading. Ashley, your face look like it's stinking. You're mute. Ashley, you're mute.
You're mute. We can't hear you.
Okay, cool. I probably said so real deep. Y'all couldn't even hear me. Anywho.
And we didn't even get it. We didn't even get it.
Anywho, I was like, I think therapists should see a therapist just to help process things. So think about it. So when you go into counseling and you're talking about your trauma, right? Because we all go through trauma, right? So sometimes transference happens. So right now I work in a field where I hear horrible stories all the time. And me talking to somebody, because I can't talk to nobody about it, because once they start hearing like, oh, I don't want to hear that, like, oh, he killed who? Like, no one wants to hear my traumatic stories that I have heard. So going to a therapist can help me process the grief that I'm hearing so I don't get secondhand trauma, or it's called transference. Thanks. So just because a therapist goes see a therapist doesn't make it less of a, what's the word I want to use?
I would say it's also a legal issue, because when you're a therapist and people are talking to you about personal things, you cannot share that with your friends and family members. So when you go to a therapist and then you talk to them about it, they're under legal contract not to say anything to anybody else. So it also protects them legally.
Thanks. Listen, in the audience, if you want to come up and share or have input, just let us know in the comments and we will definitely bring you up. This is we want to include y'all. This is an inclusive conversation. Man, what one of the things, do
they know our background?
I don't think they know our background.
Well, let's introduce ourselves, honey.
Well, I kind of did that in the beginning a little bit. You wasn't listening, but let's go. Let's go.
What's your degree in? What do you do? You was a therapist. What else? How long have you been doing it? What makes you okay with talking about this topic?
Good. All right, let's backtrack a little bit. So for me, I have my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, and currently I'm prepping myself to take the NCE so I can go ahead and get my certification and get back out in these therapy streets. I've been studying in the field since 2016, and I started working, I'll say, as far as hours are concerned, in 2020. And all of my work was at the detention center, dealing with deviant behavior mostly. But within the detention center, I was faced with many individuals who had suicidal ideation, who had schizophrenia. Many of them suffered with severe depression. I'm trying to think of what were the most of what I saw. I think those are the three main ones that I saw the most. And so that's where the basis of my experience came from, and it's still continuing to grow. The reason why you asked me why I'm comfortable talking about it, or I want to.
You comfortable? Yeah.
The reason why I'm comfortable talking about it is because after experiencing my own 6-month depression in 2016, and once I came out of it, I became more interested in understanding the mental state of humans, starting with myself. And that's when I enrolled into the program and I began to study it, you know, and it's a very interesting field to be in. And I've learned a lot about myself, and it's caused me to people watch a whole lot more too, you know. And so when I'm talking to people, my therapeutic mind is going as well as just my regular normal brain. So, you know, kind of just putting things together, and I'm just comfortable talking about it because I want to share so people can see that there's nothing wrong with speaking about issues that you may have, or just even what we say small problems, but those small problems can become major problems. So yeah.
Oh, how about you, G?
I would say my experience is more life experience. Just recently, I started working in traumatic brain injury and rehabilitation at Metro Health Hospital. So it's a lot of my experiences with dealing with different types of brain injuries and mental illnesses, people who have attempted to commit suicide but did not succeed and are now in therapy and they're on suicide watch. And, you know, we're just trying to take care of them the best way we can until they leave, but we're not really in control on where they go from there. And it's just great to see a lot of people recover. Most people recover, but some people just aren't the same, you know, and it's really hard to kind of come to terms with that because you get really close to people when they're in rehab and you learn a lot about them and you see them in their most vulnerable moments. So it's really satisfying to see them get better, but also really sad when they don't. It kind of balances out all the anger and aggression you get from people, you know, but I keep my nails short because I do put people in restraints, you know. So
And I'm sure
that also helps. You will be in restraints, and I will be very polite to you. I will give you drinks. I will make sure you can use the bathroom, but you will be in 4 points, both arms and legs strapped to the bed.
Ashley, and you?
Well, hey guys, you know, on top of me being, you know, mentally ill myself, because the girl is crazy.
You're not crazy, baby.
We just said not crazy. Let's not go back to that.
What's up, Ashley?
So I have my master's in clinical mental health counseling, but currently I'm actually working as a social worker with the county. So my field changed just a little bit. So it's a little bit different. I also have, I've been in the mental health field since 2013. I have worked at several places like Applewood. So I know somebody asked, like, where do you find a therapist? Honestly, just Google it. There's Applewood. I work there. There's North Center. There's Frontline Services. There's the Centers of Families and Children. Honestly, if you just Google, like, where can I find a therapist? A list of mental health facilities will pop up, and psychiatrists. So
online resources. I know you know some online resources. You know,
sure.
For people who, you know, don't want to go in person, you know, they can do virtual.
Check out, there's some called Cerebral, Cerebral. If you just Google Cerebral, it offers both online and in person. It also offers affordable therapeutic services. So Cerebral is a really good one to look into, as well as BetterHelp. That's another one you can Google. Those are two places that you'll be able to do, along with the other spaces that Ashley talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so definitely do that. Excuse me. Quick question. Anybody, whether it's one of y'all or somebody from the audience, yep, somebody said better health. That's another one as well. Thank you, D Hood. What do y'all see as, or what do y'all think is one of the biggest issues as we talk about mental health as far as people's perspective?
People perspective as in stigma?
Yeah, like what do you think one of the just based on what you have probably heard people say or any research you may have done, just what do you think one of the biggest stigmas are with people, their perspective of mental health?
I mean, once you get labeled as having a mental illness, people don't take you seriously, or they challenge. Even though I'm diagnosed with severe anxiety disorder, but like if you're not in the field, all you just know like, oh, Ashley's crazy. Stop.
The fact that she said Ashley crazy, then she did that.
Huh? Can you hear that? Can y'all hear that?
Wait, the fact that you follow,
yes.
The fact that you follow that with Ashley's crazy, then your eyes just was like, and you...
Can y'all hear him?
No.
Just let that man live. Let that boy live.
Christ. So I feel like sometimes I get challenged. Yeah. I get challenged as a mother because, she crazy, so she don't know. Like, you be looking like, what? So I feel like sometimes just having the stigma of having a mental illness, society won't take you serious, or they dismiss your behaviors. Okay, y'all, let me go be a mom.
I would like to say that one of these stigmas is medications. So people equate mental health, mental illness, right? I know, Alec, with medication. People don't want to take meds. They don't, because when they take medication, they're like, I'm not going to be myself. When I'm on medication, I'm not me. So they feel like they're losing a sense of self. And then it's easier for them to go and get drugs on the street instead of getting a prescription from a doctor. Maybe you don't have healthcare set up for yourself. Maybe you don't have access to healthcare. So there are a lot of different things we could talk about as far as why people do not seek mental health help.
I remember, and I've never shared this with anyone. So in the previous office I worked in the military, I remember I got into it with one of the chiefs. And I kind of went in just a little bit. And I remember I sat with the colonel and I was talking with the colonel, and I shared with the colonel, like, Colonel, I'm really working on my anger management, and I said, I shared with him some things that I have been seeing my therapist about. And then one of the other, it wasn't the deal. There was another officer that was in there at the same time. However, it got out that I shared with the colonel that, working on my anger and seeing my therapist and things like that. And when it got out, they took that and they associated it with the angry black man, and that's why he loses his temper. It's like, like, I just told you something good. I am seeing a therapist, and y'all flip that into that's why he go off like that. And that's why he's seeing a therapist. And it sucks that which is why I understand why people either don't like to go or don't share that they go see a therapist, because then you really, and I'll even say as a black man, as black women, we already get labeled as angry black men and angry black women. Don't let it gets out that you see a therapist, then it's just like, oh, well, that's it. That's what it is.
Not
that's
even just see a therapist or just been labeled with a mental illness. I told my job that I have anxiety disorder, and then my supervisor met with me. She was like, well, I feel like you just can't handle this field. I just looked at her like, bitch, you just saying that because I told you I have anxiety. I'm like, my family is full of nuts. I can handle these little motherfuckers here. Like you question my ability to work based off me sharing that I have a anxiety. I don't got anxiety about these kids or their parents. Like, this, it don't hurt me, but like, they question my ability to work just because I told her, like, hey, I have anxiety, and I just want to, like, I have a lot of notes and post this everywhere to remind me because I don't want to forget anything. And I know it might look crazy to other people, but like, don't question my ability based on something I shared with you personally.
Right. They're not even really supposed to do that.
Girl, somebody said being seen as weak.
Yeah. It happened. If I can share with everybody, like being aware of yourself is, in my opinion, one of the most powerful attributes you can have, because when you are aware of your triggers, you're aware of your own mental stability, and not only are you aware of it, but you're doing something about it. To me, that's powerful because you understand that this is my trigger. If you fool with me in this way, I'm going to react this way. So let me do this. You know what I'm saying? And that's what therapy does for you. So when a lot of people are not aware of the triggers, which is why we had the girl that was on that video. She put that gas in that Jeep and almost blew herself up. You know what I'm saying? And we have people doing some of the craziest things. Self-awareness, correct, Kristen. Self-awareness is major. Come on with the beard. Listen. Come on.
Hey, we found a way to stop it. I was gonna play some music.
Self-awareness, yo, is like, it's a strength, man. You know, you're able to build a great emotional intelligence. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good word. Can you explain what emotional intelligence is?
Emotional intelligence is understanding the spectrum of emotions that a human has and knowing how to operate in those emotions in a healthy manner that doesn't go over the edge. So when you got somebody testing you, literally testing you, is either, am I going to beat the fuck out this fool, or am I going to sit here and say something sensible and walk away? That's knowing, one, your triggers, knowing how you would handle this in one way, but also knowing how you will handle this in another way, which is a skill called thinking about the logical consequences as well. When you're able to do that emotional intelligence spectrum, you're able to dibble and dabble in all of those different emotions and stay in I'm going to say this like this, stay in you know what, I was going to say sane place, but stay in a healthy place and operate in that emotion. It's all right to be angry. It's all right to be sad, but, you know, sometimes we can go over, so
yeah, it's a right way to do anything, and there's a place and a time for everything. So that's something that my mom say all the time.
I think when I'm working with kids that has a severe or persistent mental illness, I always talk about emotional intelligence, and I talk about distress tolerance, or your ability to handle when shit doesn't go the way you want it to go. And I think we talk about, I can't think of which theorist who said, like, whatever place and time you experience trauma, your emotional capability gets stuck at that capacity. That's when I look at people who be yelling or screaming.
I got it highlighted.
Or I just be looking at them like, oh, I'm talking to a 3-year-old. Like, you upset. You can't handle, like, stress. So now you lashing out like the 4-year-old that you are. And I'm going to talk to you as such. Go ahead, Mr. Highlighted.
No, it's on my other bookshelf. I'm going to get it. Crucial
Go ahead,
Minds.
see you walk away. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, are we going to get the full body? Okay.
Let's get it. Chill out. He got his little muscles out today.
Chill out.
Okay. Sun's out, guns out.
Look at that smile. Ooh.
Look, Crucial Minds asked the question. He said, how would you express your self-awareness to others as it pertains to triggers? So, one of y'all want to answer before I answer? How would you express your self-awareness to others? Ashley.
She's too busy playing with filters to answer anybody's questions.
And her Wi-Fi connection need therapy.
I know. No, she making it worse with all these filters, though, for real.
Because I'm not rich like y'all.
Anyway, Crucial Minds asked the question. He said, how would you express your self-awareness to others as it pertains to your triggers?
That is such a great question. Jesus, did he go to Harvard? Wow.
Man, that is
like the test.
So,
Jesus.
I'm gonna use this for an example first. I'm gonna be honest. I hear a lot of I hear a lot of Black people do this. In an argument, especially Black women and Black men, in an argument, right? Do we not say, I'm going to leave before I bust you? That's self-awareness. because it's like I'm in this argument, and I know I can go all the way off the edge. Like instead of just clicking out and beating the piss out you, I know I could go all the way off the edge. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna walk away. To me, that's a certain level. It may not be expressed in the best way, but that type of awareness is good in those moments. And we see it often, you know what I'm saying? And they've been already triggered you multiple times.
I feel like that's toxic, but I hear you. But
there's got to be a better way to do it. I would say
we're grown ups.
Yeah, so there's got to be a better way.
Hold up, but here's the thing. You can be a grown-up, but you're also human. And you also know your triggers. And sometimes other individuals know your triggers as well. There are people, it's one thing having a conversation and dealing with conflict. And then there are individuals who know your triggers and purposely try to push those. And when they do, you have to still know yourself. And when you're still able to walk away, toxic or not, not toxic or not, I don't believe that's toxic. When you're able to say, listen, before I drag you, I'm going to walk away because I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, and I see what you're trying to do to me. And if you're not ready to have this conversation, then we're not going to do this.
So where's the maturity in the sense of, this is why I say it's toxic, because
you think that's immature?
Because if you have the ability to have the foresight to see someone is pushing your triggers, but you decided to react, being fully aware they fucking with you. Why would I need to threaten? No, I think that's toxic in a sense, because you send out a warning shot, like I smack the fuck out of you. But like I feel like someone like with maturity or the capability or the stress tolerance to have, like, all right, this person is causing an issue. Let's figure out why she's doing that or why he's doing that. Because I asked the questions. I said, so when you said that, it seemed like you had some, you know how I act. When you said that, it seemed like he was trying to target me personally. So what's going on with you that made you feel like you have to attack me? And that's how I handle shit. Like,
yeah, we talked about that before. It's what do they call I questions? So when you said blank, I felt like this. So you're letting the person know, in a sense, that they are triggering you, and then
you see how that's better than your toxic ass?
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. But what y'all sitting up here is saying that are people, they're immature for responding like that. But what we have to also realize is that people function differently, right? So for a person that may be on a path, that may be on a journey to getting to a certain space, right? To me, that is still a certain level of awareness, because at the end of the day, all of us, regardless of how mature or immature, intelligent, I don't want to say unintelligent, but intelligent we all have that. We all can get to that space to feel that way. And I feel like even if you verbally express it, you can see it as toxic or as you're threatening someone. But sometimes, as I often say, some people do need to be tapped a little bit in certain instances. But when you're able to say, you know what, what I would do, what I want to do, because you can't tell me that you don't want to do it sometime. And if you do, it's fine if you
That's
want
that
to.
Southern mentality right there. Anywho, we have people
y'all up north. No. We're not about to say Southern because we're not about to say Southern, because the further you go up north, I'm gonna just say it, the more ignorant y'all are, and y'all not about to say that's a Southern mentality. Nah, y'all be so ready when somebody y'all come on now. Let's come on up there. Yeah.
Well, a better way to vocalize when someone's triggering you.
But y'all keep saying a better way. Everybody ain't, and I'm not saying me, but everybody ain't there. And to me, that is still a certain level of progression when somebody's able to do that. You can't strip them of that.
Okay, when someone is better aware of their triggers and who don't have to retaliate, because I feel like that's when you threaten. I feel like for me, when it comes to relationships, friendships.
Continue.
Hey!
Hold on, finish.
Oh God.
So easily distracted. You probably don't even remember what
ADHD at his best. Shit.
Come on, Ashley, finish your thought.
He got it honest. I feel like a better way to, especially in a relationship, I tell people, here, these are the things that trigger me. Don't play me like I'm dumb, or like don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. Like this is making me, this will trigger my anxiety, or this is going to trigger my anger response. But because I'm emotionally intelligent, I'm gonna take my energy away, because that's all I do with people. I don't argue with anyone. I'm like, you know what, baby, I'm gonna take my energy away because you're not worthy.
And that's good. That's good. But look, Danny said, she said, with my maturity, I'm trying to read it. I black out with my maturity and go off. People will purposely push you to that point. Like, it happens. And even for real, even if you got to tell somebody, like, before I sit up here and knock your teeth out, I'm gonna walk away from this. I'm not gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? That's still a certain level of self-awareness that I commend. And I also commend for being able to do it, as you said, Ashley. Like that's facts as well. But you know, there's some people on the journey to get there. You know, we still arrive.
As long as you know it's a journey, and that's just the beginning steps to just recognize.
I'm gonna come back to that.
Trigger.
What's going on, Alex? How you doing, bro?
Hello, sir. Sometimes, you know, we have to realize that we are in a world of individuals. And
you messed up.
Do what now?
Nah, finish, Bam. She was just talking on this.
Okay, and sometimes you have to meet people where they are. Sometimes people will not be in the echelon that you are, and they have not reached your maturity. Sometimes you have to speak to them in a language in which they can understand. And you still are, you know, they totally got the point, and you did this without being argumentative. You did this in a clear and concise way. Though it may sound violent or whatever, but I'm just letting you know. You know what I'm saying? And I would rather somebody let me know instead of, you know what I'm saying, trying to talk around it or be like, you know, this is that. No, this is what it is. And this is how I feel. And I'm letting you know what's happening. And we're going to keep it moving. Or I'm going to remove myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I don't feel like that's toxic at all. But everybody is, you know what I'm saying, entitled to their own opinion. And it is not a Southern mentality. That is just a mentality of a person that knows what they want. You know what I'm saying? And they know how to get it. And I'm going to give my point over to you. You heard me? Y'all be good.
So you're his older
Take me out of here.
Right? Older brother?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Alex. I think you got to remove yourself.
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. There is listen, there is a certain level of
I wasn't expecting
self.
Alex to look like a white man. I'm sorry. It threw me off a little bit.
Oh, they seem like they all bright. All y'all bright.
Isn't they?
I got a brother that's chocolate, a brother that's brown.
I said, who's this white man in this? Oh, shit. Is that Alex? God damn. I didn't even hear. I was so taken back by how white he was. What are you saying?
No, ain't even listen to the man. Come on now.
I did. I said, who's this Caucasian? And I heard the voice. I said, that sounds like. He been using darker filters. He been tricking mother suckers. Like, really. So I mean, he got white privilege. I mean, he don't even count. His comment don't count. He got white privilege.
Hell nah, we ain't about to do that. We ain't about to do that. So look, as it pertains to your self-awareness, I just think there is a spectrum. You know what I'm saying? And as long as you're able to, in my opinion, I wouldn't do this I wouldn't tell somebody in a session like, yeah, tell them you'll beat I wouldn't do that in a session with someone. And encourage them to do that. However, if they were to tell me that that's how they handled it, I would definitely say, you know what? That's progress. You stated what you could do.
That's some bias, but I hear you.
Okay. Working in the detention center. And these young men then shot cats, then beat the hell out of niggas, like then done all this, right? And they go straight to violence as it pertains to resolving an issue. And if they're able to say, yo, Mr. Lorenzo, so, you know, I've been working on myself and I had got into it with this dude and, you know, I voiced what I do to him, but you know what, I was like, but you know what, I'm not even that no more. I'm gonna walk. That's progress. That's progress.
Okay, that's progress. That's their progress. You're right.
But
you're right.
It's progress because there's a goal, correct? And if that's where they are in the moment, that's progress. Mental stability, emotional intelligence is built. And it ain't built overnight. Because I know Ashley still be out here.
I don't fight no more.
You ain't got to fight, but I know you let a few people know how it could go down. But what I'm going to choose to do today.
Hey, little Johnny.
Hey, Jay.
Oh, man.
These bracelets do not look good with these filters. But no, okay. Your brother always comes to save you. It's biased because he's saying that's progress based on his own way of thinking. Oh, my brother. Y'all ignore my brother.
Who is your brother? Duncan J?
Yeah.
What's that, bro?
He said, what about Kevin Samuels? We should dissect Kevin Samuels for one.
Listen, I would love to do a session with Kevin Sam. You know who Kevin Sam? When we get off of live, go Google him and watch him. I would love to sit in a session with Kevin Samuels. I want to dig into
who is he?
He's a gay man that's teaching other gay men how to get women.
I can't call his sexual orientation. I can't call it sexual orientation, but the way his mindset as it pertains to women, it just makes me question, as I always say, who did something to you? I want to know, like, let's dig into what happened in your life, because you know he sounds intelligent when he speaks, but all I hear is hurt. All I hear is some type of traumatic experience that he's had with women. That's my personal opinion.
I would say particularly black women, because I feel like when there's white women on, he don't be reading them. But when it's a black woman,
somebody said I'd rather dissect Derek Jackson. He's another one.
We ain't got enough time. It ain't enough time in the day. It ain't enough time. We got to pull out. Y'all got to pull out books. Research. We got to go back. We got to. No, it's too much. It's too much to unpack.
There are some facts. Some facts on what?
Right. Hi, Ernest, but we don't know.
With a name like Ernest, who's Ernest? With a name like Ernest, where are the facts at, baby?
That's my other brother. Not too much, nah.
Hey, he gonna say there's some facts. He gonna get it. Let's go. Come on, bring it. Are you talking about Kevin Samuels discussing?
We ain't gonna get into it. It's a rabbit hole. We ain't gonna get into it.
Baby.
We ain't gonna get into it. Let's moving on. We ain't gonna get into it.
Oh God.
Hurt people.
Yo, we ain't gonna get into it. Yo.
It's okay.
Let me tell you,
okay?
When thinking of Kevin Samuels, when you don't seek out the proper therapeutic help, it manifests in so many other ways.
Yeah.
It manifests.
Like Kevin Samuels.
It manifests in so many other ways.
Samuels is not somebody you should be seeking out help, guys.
Ernest,
in your opinion.
Ernest, the show almost over. You can't come up.
Well, I'm about to bring him up.
Oh man.
And you better speak about mental health well-being.
Correct.
He said, let me take my shirt off. No, this nigga. Let me take my shirt off. He said, what I need a shirt for?
Wait a second. We can't see.
Oh, no, put your titties back in the screen. Go your room. Mommy's talking.
Okay, so can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Did he put a shirt on?
He put a shirt on.
He did.
I listened, right, to a couple of his sessions, and there are facts that he's presenting. Whether you like them or not, there is some truth in some stuff he's saying. And so I'll give you one fact about marriage is not about love. It is a business decision. And so what we have with our women, a lot of the time, and y'all might tear me up for this, but it's fine, is when you ask a black woman what they bring to the table, they be like, me. And so to me, that's an issue. I need more than just you. What else are you bringing?
Baby, that's
you
single?
Are you single, honey?
Huh?
Are you single?
Yes.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
No. Now, I was married for 19 years, so bring it
So
back.
hurt people hurt people. Years. So you're identifying with his hurt, with your own pain in the marriage that you had.
No, what I'm saying is, marriage is a business. So if we're business partners, right? And so if I put in 90% and you put in 10%, it's easier for you to walk away because you haven't invested what I invested. That's the point I'm saying.
But isn't that the woman you choose? Because every woman is the same.
No,
so
yeah, everybody's different.
Right.
So I'm saying everybody's situation is different, right? So
but you can't generalize black women and say black women do black women or women do. You gotta say the women I choose don't bring nothing to the table because that's the one you chose.
No. I'm going by statistics, right?
What statistics you have?
What's the numbers?
Statistics done on this. When you ask black women what they bring to the table, like you can sit down and discuss, and you ask a black woman what they bring to the table, and listen. And I'm saying black women because that's the only thing I deal with. I don't know about white women, but I'm saying black women.
So I think here is my perspective with Kevin Samuels. So what he presents is based off of his experiences, and everyone has their perspective. But the issue I have with Kevin Samuels is not so much what he's presenting, it's the manner in which he's presenting it. And it makes me inquire about his mental health as it pertains to what has happened in his life. Because I hear what he's saying, but I also see what he's saying, if I can make any sense. So for me, Kevin Samuels, while he may be presenting a confident man, to me, he's presenting a hurt man. To me, he's presenting a man who has went through, and now it's like, I'm going to tell y'all about this from a hurt perspective. And so for me, the therapeutic work for Kevin Samuels has not been done. And it's very telling in his delivery and even in his posture as he speaks to women. Because if he's supposed to be helping women, you can take everything he's saying, and some of the things he's saying may be facts, but the way he speaks to women, so, it seems like he has the problem with women. So for me, with my therapeutic mind, I'm curious as to not so much what you're saying, dude, but I'm looking and hearing you, and now I'm more concerned with what happened to you.
Now, I'm not talking about his delivery, right? I'm not talking about his delivery. I'm strictly talking about, so everybody has biases, right? Just like on here, we're talking, everybody have their own biases. Yes, it's going to be your experiences you talking about, right? So everybody has their own bias. I don't agree with his delivery, but some things he are saying are true.
So being that from a therapist perspective, aside content, what becomes the focus is his presentation and how he's putting it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. You can have, a person can have their own perspective, they can have their own opinions, but as I sit back and I look at Kevin Samuels, I don't care about what you're saying. Like, dude, I see past all that. I see past that mask that we talked about a few weeks ago. There is some hurt, there's something behind that for you to carry on the way you do. So thinking with that therapeutic mind, like, homeboy, dude, you need some help. Why you out here trying to help women?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he don't have issues. Like I said, it might be from his past experience. But what I'm saying is some of the stuff he's saying are facts. You know what I'm saying? Now, his presentation, just like we in the military, right? Or was in the military, one leader might be an asshole. You might look at him an asshole. He might be saying everything correct, but his presentation, you're not hearing it, or you can't accept it or receive it because you don't like his presentation, right? That don't mean what he's saying is not correct.
I mean, Satan said facts too. Don't necessarily mean we should listen to him, right?
Say again?
The devil, Satan. He spoke facts too. Don't necessarily mean we should listen to him.
Not religion.
Right. I'm not saying you have to listen to it. I just say certain things he say are true.
I think he using his platform as like a therapeutic way to unite lovers or like give like advice on a relationship. But like we know as clinicians, right? You gotta understand, we understand biases, but when we talking to people or working with people, we have to be subjective. I think for him to use his platform in a way, he's not able to be subjective. You know what I'm saying? So what he's doing, what he's doing would be called unethical because he's pushing his bias on other people. Just because you feel that way don't necessarily mean that it's facts. You could have the same experience as him, and that's why you feel it's facts. But when it comes to me, when somebody say black women do this, black women do that, black women in America is the highest educated women in America. You know, we got the highest numbers, so we obviously making money. So to me, that when I hear like, oh, a bitch just want me to bring the table, no, it's the bitches you choose, baby.
So that's totally incorrect. That's totally incorrect.
I'm sorry, Jane. Ain't you the breadwinner? Don't you got money? Don't you run shit?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you
I
talking
got a job. I've been working. I'm working. My nigga don't make more money than me. I mean, the new nigga does, but my past niggas that never make more money than me.
So you're not listening. You're not listening to what I'm saying. That's all fine. Now you generalizing. So you saying you and the friend you're talking to. You saying
I use statistics.
You make more money.
I use statistics, sir.
Huh?
I use statistics. I was educating you on the fact that black women is the highest educated women in America.
Right. That's a fact. That has nothing to do with what they're making in pay. You could be the highest educated, but
you say they don't bring nothing to the table.
Huh?
You said they didn't bring anything to the table, baby. Obviously, they bring intellect.
So I want to interject.
You know what? I'll do the research because it just seems like it's past. I'm just saying stuff. I'm just throwing stuff out there. So it is because of your experience. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Nobody never heard this before. Nobody never said nothing about it before.
All right. So what I want to do is because I want to make sure we stay in the space of because I don't want to spend too much time on Kevin because I want to make
y'all let my brother change the whole entire fucking show.
Hold up, but we that's a good subject, but I want to make sure we stay in the realms. If we're gonna talk about it that long, it gotta be in context of mental health. You know what I'm saying? But Ernest, we do appreciate you, bro. We really appreciate you. I think you gotta move yourself out.
No hard feelings.
How you do that?
You still got the nicest body out of everybody, baby. You still got the nicest body.
How you do that?
Hold
how
up.
You do that, Rizzo?
I think the X at the top, it should take you out. Just X, yeah. There we go. Oh, he left. God dog, I gave him the wrong thing.
Not God.
All right, we got one more person that won't come up. Y'all want to bring him up?
It's another guy.
Only you can see it. I'm sorry.
All right, so I'm gonna bring him up, but before I bring him up, y'all, we want to make sure we stay in the context of mental health. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go too deep into. We probably gonna have to have a whole show on dudes like Kevin.
I'm gonna have to do research because I don't know anything about him, so I can't really form any opinions. Any information.
Hey, D Hood, I was trying to bring you up, man. I think you declined, but
bring him up. Bring him up, because
he declined.
Bring him up.
Bring him up.
I'll fight him in person.
Oh, huh?
What?
Wait, did you just talk? Hold up.
You gonna fight both of his older brothers, and you gonna fight some. Stop. Stop. Put your beard and your mustache back on because you are acting like a whole.
You're right.
Listen, look. Look, yo, for real, it is 6:59, y'all. Look, I will drop a few resources for y'all. Listen, if you need the nationals, anytime you feel like or you need to send this to someone or give it to someone for yourself, these are just a few resources. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. Substance Abuse Hotline, 1-800-662-4357. Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-7233. And Cerebral is a good resource to use. Google Cerebral, and you'll be able to find the right type of therapeutic services that you may need for yourself. Yo, we appreciate y'all for being here. This was good. It was funny. And as always, we still try to be informative and relate things to mental health as we do. We enjoy y'all. We appreciate y'all, ladies. Either one of y'all got something?
I think we should post those resources on our page so they can look at it later. Also, you know, this is our first live show. Let me rub my beard for a little bit though. Oh wait, there you go. So this is our first live show, and I promise you, it's only gonna get better.
Maroon. Jim.
No, I have nothing to say except thank you. And giving us your time. I know your time is precious. Giving us an hour of your time is something that you cannot get back. So just appreciate you.
Listen, y'all, we thank y'all so much for coming out like we at a club or something. We thank y'all for coming on to this live, taking this hour of your time. Tonight, we said, we just wanted to reintroduce ourselves, reintroduce the group, and just kind of talk a little bit about the importance of mental health. We usually do topics every week, and we will get back onto topics next week. And I even think sometimes we should do a wild card, you know, and just allow people to come up and just kind of see where we go with it. Just something else we could add, you know.
Well, not my brother, because I feel like my brother didn't change the whole entire show. He said Kevin Samuels, and that shit, it just went left.
That was a good
ADHD too, so it was like
that was a whole different kind of conversation.
It was interesting. It wasn't a bad change.
It was interesting. It was. It does. But again, y'all, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Uncensored Therapy. Join the group page on Facebook, Uncensored Therapy. When y'all see us post, if you don't mind, share that for us. You know, our support, the way we grow is from y'all support. You know what I'm saying? And we just trying to do a good thing. Mental health is always something good to talk about. Share these experiences, grow and learn from each other. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Peace and love.
Peace, love, and big grease.
Peace.
Bruh.
I don't even know where he came from. Do not call human services on me, guys.
Let
me be a man, mommy.
Oh, no. Oh no. Yeah, thank God, because I was getting a little bit much.